Welcome, everybody, to the US Law Live podcast. This is the official US Law podcast for the US Law Network, brought to you by our corporate partners. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Roush from the Larson King firm in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm joined today by my co-host, the lovely Jessica Dark from Pierce Couch in Oklahoma. Jessica, how are you?
Hi, Nick. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. And I should say, at some point, we'll come back to the new Taylor Swift album because I think there's a lot to unpack with you, Jessica, on that. But
I
we
think that
may
might
not
need to
have enough
be,
time today.
that'll have to be its own episode, Nick. I have a lot of thoughts and points for discussion, but I am more pointing out I think, is this your first pod back since you had the baby?
I think it is because we recorded one that it worked its way out, and then so this is the first official one. So yes, I am. I'm back from the living. We have a 10-week-old Lucy who is doing great right now, and our son Jack, who is almost 2, is just running the show. So 2 under 2. It's fantastic.
Well, glad you're back. We missed you co-hosting and very excited for today's episode. Why don't you tell everyone about our guest?
We will. We are joined today. This is, by the way, we have the luxury of having individuals in our network who are working with the USLAW Foundation, and it's been one of the things and hallmarks of our organization over the years. And we recently got back from our annual meeting, which was in Colorado, I believe, about a month ago. I wasn't able to make it because I was in trial, but heard a lot of good things about it. And at that time, we had law student scholarship recipients who were there at the event. One of which is who's joining us today, Taylor Stamps from the University of Illinois Chicago School of Law. Taylor, welcome to the podcast.
Woo,
Thank
hello.
you. Thank you so much, Nick. And also congratulations on the new baby.
It's a wild ride doing this work and having children. But Taylor, we talked a little bit before we started the podcast. I asked you kind of about that. Tell us about kind of going to the U.S. Law Network uh, conference for the first time. How did it go? What was your review?
Yes, so the conference for me was honestly a surreal experience. The Broadmoor was beautiful. I did not want to leave. It was just so nice. And I was so appreciative for the opportunity to even attend an event like that. And everything was great. The activities, the schedule, the meetings, I learned so much. And so it was overall a 10 out of 10 for me.
That's fantastic. That's
Love to
fantastic.
hear it.
Well, let's get a little bit, Taylor, for the folks that didn't get to meet you at the conference or that don't know you and are listening to our episode now, just a little bit about you and some background. So tell us a little bit what you did in undergrad, what led you to law school.
Yes. So my background, I did not go straight into law school, which I don't think a lot of people know that about me. But prior to attending law school, I was actually a high school English teacher for three
Wow.
years. So that was fun. And I
Which
honestly,
is more difficult, teaching high school students or law school?
honestly, law school. And that it might surprise people because dealing with high school students, it is not easy, but I just looked at them as the young future adults that they are. And as long as you treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect. And there would be a lot of emotions, but going to law school, I honestly think that my teaching experience, it really prepared me for that because there are a lot of different moving parts, a lot of things that you have to focus on, and it's the same with teaching. So that
I
was
love
great.
it.
Yes. And then as far as what led me to law school, so I actually took the LSAT in undergrad, but I fell in love with teaching. And so I did decide to do that for a bit, save up and invest, which was, I think, good on my part because I have an apartment building right now, which I was able to get while I was teaching. And being a landlord is an interesting job on top of everything else that I have going on right now. But Really, I came to law school because of my past and just the community that I come from. And so my brother, he is actually currently incarcerated, but because of the state that he was arrested in and the crime that he was accused of, he was facing the death penalty.
Oh
And
my gosh.
so, yes, that was very trying for my family, but I also saw the importance of having good representation when you're
Yeah.
dealing with things like that. And so that really inspired me even further along this journey. And so just being able to be that person for my family was very important to me. And so I'm just happy to be here.
That's awesome. Are any of your family members lawyers?
No, so I will be the first lawyer
Yeah,
in my family.
I'm a first generation lawyer as well, and I think that it's really interesting. It brings different perspective. I also think having family who don't really know exactly what you do all day, it makes for a lot of interesting discussion. But Nick, are you the only lawyer in your family, or you have some?
I am. So my on my side of the family, there are no lawyers. All of them are from Des Moines, Iowa, and it was the first
They
time
have lawyers in Iowa too, Nick.
they do. For those of you, not just cows and cornfields, okay? But it does bring kind of, Taylor, to your point, a different perspective, and I think that that's something that's so great about your position, kind of going into the practice of law and going into law school. I'm always curious. I ask law students this because of their background and what they go into. How was it kind of diving headfirst into law school and kind of just taking, your background of English and teaching high school and then completely reshaping it? What was that transition like?
Honestly, it was very traumatic.
Yeah, it's okay. We all went
The
through it. We all went through it. It's okay.
going from a full-time job to being a broke college student again was interesting. But I did have certain things that I was fortunate enough to be able to fall back on, and the opportunities that I've gotten thus far, I could never have imagined these things for myself. And so even getting scholarships like the US Law Network Scholarship, things
Yes.
like that have been very helpful along my journey. And I also think that all of the people that I've been able to meet, the connections I've been able to make, they have really helped to keep me grounded because it can be overwhelming at times, especially being first generation when you don't have people in your family that you can talk to about certain things because they have never gone through the fire. So
Yeah.
they don't necessarily know everything that comes with it. But I'm grateful for all of the people that I've met that have been able to help me through it.
I saw too, just in looking in your background. So, for those of you that tuning in and understanding the U.S. Law Foundation scholarships and how they work, one of the things that the foundation looks at when awarding the scholarships is about genuine commitment to the community and things that they're doing around there. And what I saw, Taylor, on your resume was you're involved in this program called Upward Bound, and maybe talk to the folks a little bit about that. I think that's such a cool program.
Yes, thank you. So the Upward Bound program, I actually was in that program myself when I was a high school student. And so it is basically just a college prep program for low income students. And so they do lots of great things. When I was in the program, I was able to go visit different schools. We would take trips out of the state, which was very nice. And then I would also get a stipend based on the amount of work I did, the classes I attended, and things like that. So it was very helpful for me growing up. And after I graduated, I stayed involved with the program. I was a tutor there for a time. And I also go back and speak on different panels that they have and try to stay involved and just volunteer with them as much as I possibly can. They have also recently created an alumni program, which I think was a great idea. And so just getting more involved and trying to reach back and show students that no matter where you come from, there are better things ahead. The things can get better. And so that's really important to me. And that was another reason that I love teaching. Just showing the students someone who looked like them, I think was very helpful.
That's awesome. And
Thank
the
you.
last one I picked up on, Taylor, which I have to talk about because I just love going through accolades. You're the chair of the American Bar Association Law Student Division. Did I read that correct? Am I
Yes,
right on that?
yes, you
Holy
are
cow.
correct.
Tell us about that.
The entire ABA.
The Law Student Division, yes, I'm the
That's
chair
awesome.
currently. Thank you so much. So that has been an interesting yet rewarding experience as
Yeah.
well. Being involved with the ABA, I have been able to travel a bit. I went to Toronto for the first time in August, which was a beautiful experience. It was the annual conference, and I had a great time. And you get to meet people from all over the country. And I am basically the face of the law student division, is how the position was described to me
That is
when
awesome.
I
Yeah, that's quite the
applied.
compliment.
Yes, thank you. And so it has been great thus far. I have wonderful board members that I'm able to rely on. And it does come with a lot of responsibility, but I think it's just helping to prepare me for whatever the future may bring. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do that.
So tell us a little bit right now. What are you focusing on? Kind of what, intrigued your interest? I know at least when I was in law school, I was all over the map in terms of things I was liking and not liking, but coming into it, right, with no background in the law, I think some of that in law school is finding out what you like and don't like. So are there areas you're focusing on right now, things that you're finding interesting? Kind of tell us about that.
Yes. So when I first started law school, I thought that I wanted to do either criminal or family law. Then I took a criminal law class and I decided that that may not be the area for me because I don't think I thought about everything that comes with that. Just reading the stories, I mean, well, they're literally people's lives, but reading the cases, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that having to see things like that in discovery, I just don't see myself being able to leave those kinds of things at work. And so I decided that was not the path that I wanted to go down. I also attempted to take a family law class and then decided I don't know how I feel about family law either. So we shall see if that's still in the cards. But for me right now, I do work at a personal injury firm, and so that has been great experience as far as seeing the way that a trial works and just getting more equipped when it comes to learning about civil procedure. And so I'm finally starting to see the bigger picture of how things worked with a trial when it comes to litigation. And so that's been great. But I also had an in-house internship with another company, and I was more so working with their contracts team and doing things related to like transportation. And so that was a great experience for me. And I am all over the place, I guess, still trying to decide what would be best for me because while right now I'm focusing more so on litigation, I do also have an idea of what the transactional side would look like. And so I could also see myself doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's just a lot of moving parts.
I think that's great. And it sounds like you're really maximizing your time in law school to try
Great.
other areas of law and see. I mean, I definitely had no idea what I wanted to do. I was very big into politics and government at the time I started law school. I thought I would end up at our state capitol, either being a legislator or a lobbyist. And now I do litigation, clearly nothing, I wouldn't say not anything. I do a lot of government relations liability defense. But I think that that is what's really helpful about law school is you're kind of forced to take all these different subjects. And so it helps you sort of navigate into what you like, what you might be really good at. I actually started interning at my firm, Pierce Couch, after my 1L year, and I've never left. So I have not a single clue about criminal law, family law, transaction, nothing. Now, litigation, I think what's cool about litigation is, especially with my office, we see so many different kinds of cases that it's not just the same thing day in, day out. I mean, we may have, like, I learned about, we have some sort of statute about underground cable, with like internet and cell phone tower. No clue. Have never done it again, but I learned all about it for that one case. Where I had one case where some cows got out of supposedly a fenced-in area and caused an accident. And so I'm driving out into rural Oklahoma, learning about cattle guards and what is the standard of care for cattle owners. I mean, it's so interesting. So all of that to say, you'll find it. Who knows what it might be? It may be something completely different than you've even tried yet. What about you, Nick? What were you thinking or interested in?
It's a good question. So I went in actually wanting to do sports law. That's like what I wanted to do. So I played college baseball and had an internship for the Iowa Cubs, which is the AAA team for the Chicago Cubs. And so I went in thinking that's really what I wanted to do. And then I observed a criminal trial during my 1L year, and I was like, this is cool. Like just lights, camera, action, and trial lawyers and the jury and the judge. So then I took an interest in criminal law, and I had 2 student internships where I had a student license and was able to actually try cases in Des Moines with the supervision of a lawyer that I was with. And if you would have asked me my 2L year, I would have said I'm going to be a prosecutor. And then had a couple other internships both in Iowa and up here in Minnesota. And then turns out that I was like, and I do like the litigation aspect of it, but maybe not the criminal side. Maybe I want to do more civil and have more of a wide range of stuff. And that's what kind of led me to doing the civil defense stuff. Just because, I mean, as Jessica said, I'm the same way. It's like you have so many different things you cover, but it's so mentally stimulating because you may one day be looking at a forklift accident. The next day you're looking at an oil spill, and then the next day you're talking about a medical malpractice case. And I think just having that dynamic and diversity of what you're working on, I think was exactly what I wanted to do. So that's where I ended up doing what I am now, which is all over the map. So
yeah, it's so funny. It's like in law school, I don't know if your universities, I'm sure they did, or law schools had like an AMJUR, is what ours was called, number one in your class.
yeah, yes.
I got a few of them. Let me just toot my own horn, but let me tell you what they were in. Okay. International criminal courts.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Federal Indian law, which is somewhat relevant in Oklahoma, but I touched 0% of it. And what was the other one? Oh, real estate transactions. Now, I will go buy a house and have not a clue what they are talking about. So anyway, I'm not really going anywhere with that. I just mostly wanted to tell you that anything can happen.
Yes.
I had AMJURs in trial practice and criminal procedure. And it was because the only reason I got those is because I was interning with a prosecutor at the time who basically, shout out to Jeff Noble, who basically helped me get those grades. So learned a lot, but it happens. I mean, so Taylor, redirecting to a different issue. We talked about law school. We talked about that. What does Taylor Stamps do outside of law school? I know you said you're a landlord, I think is what you said, right?
Yes.
What if we were not going to law school? We were just gonna go out or meet up on a weekend. What's Taylor Stamps like outside the law building?
Outside of the law building, that's so hard to answer considering the way my schedule is set up right now.
That's right.
But honestly, I am kind of addicted to watching TV. I will admit that. I love going to the movies. I just feel like when I'm in that zone, I can just tune everything else out and just exist and turn my brain off. And so I love that. I'm actually going to the movies later today. I tried to Good Fortune is the name of the movie. It's supposed to be a comedy. It has Keanu Reeves, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Um,
Are you
I
excited
have
for Wicked Part 2?
I have not seen Wicked Part One.
Okay. Well, I would like you when
Yeah.
you leave today, that's your homework. You need to watch it
Okay.
and you will fall in love, most likely. And I would like you to email me after with your review.
A full
I
review.
I
Yep.
will do that. I
There
will
Highlight.
is
definitely.
a there's a few movie theaters up here in the Twin Cities that are doing the Wicked 1 and Wicked 2 like double feature. And it's like 5 hours
Mm.
long.
You'd be
Okay.
there all
Like,
day.
yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
Anna, my wife Anna, shout out, was like, we should do this. And I was like, okay, one, we have a 10-week-old. How is
Yeah.
that gonna work? And then two is there's no way Jack, our almost 2-year-old, is gonna sit for that whole thing. So, oh, we'll just get a babysitter. I'm like, we're gonna sit there for 5 hours? It seems like a little much. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me.
Well, you can go to like one of the theaters where they have the food and just
Yeah, that's
like
right.
make a day of it.
That's right.
I
I
feel like
think
I
it'll
would
be
probably fall
great.
asleep.
That's
That's
a
a long
long time. 5 hours is a long time. It's a long time.
I would assume that they give you a break, like in
There
between the
is. There
movies.
is I think there's like a 45-minute intermission, just like if you were going to the play or whatever it is. I think that's what.
Mm.
uh,
And Taylor Stamps, I must find out. Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
So I am a old Taylor Swift fan.
yes, I love that
I
answer.
love the
That's a great answer.
classics.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your favorite album?
Oh, I feel like I am in the hot seat.
These are the real
Album.
important questions now.
Oh,
Well, while
I
you think
don't
about it,
know
I'll
if
tell
I have a
you,
favorite album because I like all of her old albums.
I went to the premiere. I mean, I don't want to call it a movie because I don't feel like it was really a movie, but when
Mm.
Life of a Showgirl came out and you could go see
I love
her talking, there was a music video and then a behind the scenes of how they made the music video. And then they did like lyrics for all the songs. And I took my
Mm.
5-year-old and we had a blast.
I mean, I love that you did that, especially taking your child, because when I have children, I will honestly be the same way when it comes to Harry Potter. I love it, so you have to love it.
love
Yep.
it.
And
And they're now they're
my son is Harry Potter for Halloween this year.
yes.
I know.
That
And then my daughter's Taylor Swift. So I,
that's funny.
I have indoctrinated them pretty hard.
So Taylor, they're remaking the Harry Potter now. Like HBO is taking the Harry Potter series and
Mhm.
they're gonna do like a season of television for each book. That's like what they're doing right now. They're filming it. That's gonna be interesting.
That will be interesting.
It's a whole thing. It's like they're filming it, I think, right now in the UK, I think.
Yeah, I
Hope.
think I saw a picture of John Lithgow
That's
as
right.
Dumbledore recently.
Yeah.
Mm, interesting. I just hope they do it justice.
I know, I know. Well, there's so much as so my my mom and my sister are very big Harry Potter fans. Okay, like
Mhm.
huge, right? And so their comments as we were watching it were always, oh, they missed certain things in the books that never made it right to the movies. And so I think this is the attempt at that. I think they're like with 8 episodes to cover a book, certainly you're going to be able to cover a lot more than you could.
Mm,
But,
yeah, okay. I can't wait to see that now. Thank you for letting
all
me
right, so
know.
so Taylor, um, we got 5 minutes left. And I
Okay.
asked this question last week, actually, to a law student that was interviewing at our office for a clerkship. And we need to start asking this question more because I think it's fantastic.
Mhm.
And you get a wide range of different views on it, giving different people's experiences and what they've gone through recently. You being in law school, I think, is a perfect time. If you could go back and give the version of yourself 4 or 5 years ago some advice, what would you give them about knowing what they're about to go through?
Interesting question. I don't know if I would change anything that I've done thus far. I feel like I've been able to do a lot while I've been in school, but as far as advice goes, I would just tell myself no one's journey is linear. There are going to be ups and
So
downs. And at
that's
the end of the
awesome.
day, you have to celebrate the small wins and continue to celebrate the small wins along with the big ones. So I think that is the
That's
advice
a
I would give myself.
fantastic answer. That's a fantastic answer. You
Thank
got it
Very
you.
all
good
buttoned
answer.
up.
You just got a job at Larson King.
Oh,
Congratulations.
lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jessica Dark, you're next. Five.
Oh
If you
my.
could give Jessica Dark 5 years ago advice, what would you give the advice?
Oh no. I thought this was just like a guest question, Nick. I was just over here just hanging out. I mean, I think this probably goes to me in general. I'd give this to myself today and 20 years ago. I need to just chill out. Like everything is going to fall into place, obviously like do a good job and try hard, but also just relax and take one day at a time, one case at a time, one event at a time, and just chill out. I'm definitely not as articulate as Taylor's, but on the fly, I do feel like that would have helped me. But it could still
Yeah.
help me today. What about you,
Yes.
Nick?
I would say I thought about it after we talked with this law student. I would probably say to be present. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like doing this job, law school is a great example of it too. I wasn't good at being present at law school either, because there's so much going on and you're studying, then you're clerking, then there's exams, and there's just so much you're juggling in the air. And Taylor, certainly you with being a landlord and all on top of it, there's so many balls in the air, right? That you're just trying to make sure nothing drops. For me, I think this last few years has just been focusing on being present, and whether that's present at work with the people you're working with and doing a good job, or present at home with your wife, children, whatever it. I think just the focus on being present and just knowing that there could be a million things going on, but just focusing on what you're doing at that time and the people that you're with, I think is probably the piece of advice I'd probably give.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I
So
loved both of your answers. Those are great.
we liked your answer, Taylor. It
Oh,
was
thank
much,
you.
much better, much better.
Who knew we were going to get so deep?
I think we need to. Taylor set the tone now for all the future guests. This is going to be hard to go back
Oh,
from.
thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm honored.
Well, Taylor, thank you for joining us on the U.S. Law Podcast. We hope to see you in the future. And for those of you that got to meet Taylor at the U.S. Law Network, please follow up with us if you need her contact information. But Taylor, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a privilege.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great. My first podcast, and I
Woo-hoo.
just appreciate you guys hosting. Like,
Well,
this was amazing.
yeah, stay in touch. Maybe after graduation, we can do kind of a where are they now follow-up episode, and we can hear about, how law school ended up, what are you doing now, and how U.S. Law helped make that happen with this
Heck yes.
scholarship.
I would love that. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taylor.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to this episode of U.S. Law Live. Stay tuned for more great conversations on U.S. Law Live. To learn more about the U.S. Law Network, visit us at uslaw.org.